Hello and welcome to Chart of the Day Cafe for Thursday, March 31st, 2016. Just going to read our disclaimer quickly. Trading stocks is a high level of risk and viewers should complete their own due diligence on any stock or underlying that they intend to own. 100% of the content of this video and communique is intended for journalistic and educational purposes only. This video and all indicators, strategies, and articles herein should not be construed as investment advice. Thank you for your patience with that. So as regular viewers well know, we always start our videos off with the IWM, which is the ETF that represents the Russell 2000. We're looking at it on a 5-year monthly time frame. Because it's the last day of the month and the last day of the quarter, I think it's important to step back and look at the charts from an even longer quarterly time frame. So I'm going to try and go as quickly as I can, but I want to spin through those. So here we are, IWM 5-year monthly chart, last day of the month, bullish candle so far for sure. Long wick from February that had that thrust that pushed price back into our blue channel, but on very low volume. So bullish candle, but low volume. Dow, bullish at that area of prior resistance. For sure that's a bullish candle, but again, low volume. SPY, coming into that area of prior resistance, bullish candle, low volume. I'm going to go back to the Russell. And bear with me for a sec, I'm going to go back even further out and look at things from a quarterly because we're at the end of the quarter. Dragonfly Doji on the Russell for the quarter, that's a little bit concerning to me. Dragonfly Doji, you know, the psychology behind this candle is it opened here at the cross. The bears took control and pushed price well below the normal range, all the way down to the bottom here. We all experienced that. And then the bulls took over and pushed price all the way back up to close at an equal level to the open. So the bulls were able to take charge and push price up, but typically when it closes here at an even level, again, it's indecision, right? So if the bulls really had a lot of conviction behind pushing price higher, it would have had a head and a hammer and the volume would have been in place. What concerns me about this particular doji, Dragonfly Doji, is that it's followed by a red bar of selling and a sequence of prior quarterly candles, doji, indecision, bearish, no conviction in this candle, and this one where price was pulled all the way back down. So as all candlestick formations, it needs confirmation by the following sequence of candlesticks, but that's of concern to me. Again, let's go back to the Dow. That's more of a bullish look, but on low volume. And you've got to ask yourself, after 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quarters hanging around this area, do we have enough conviction in the market to push it higher? And I would suspect that it would need some fuel and some real volume to get us through this area that's been such an area of resistance for so long. So volume's not quite there. Nice look to the candle for the quarter, but missing the volume. Same thing with the S&P. Again, like the Dow, we have a larger body, which is really great, but we're lacking the volume, and we've got a sequence of candles where price was rejected. The other thing are the financials. So not so great. I like the wick. Maybe we'll get some follow through and a move higher, but the financials are kind of lagging here, and the sellers are, for the most part, more in control with the red candle for the quarter. The other one that I thought was interesting, XLU Utilities. Wow, look at that candle for the quarter. Best performer, this sector. Look at the volume. That's a defensive, utilities are typically where, more conservative defensive. That's a lot of conviction on the utilities side. Just wanted to point those out. The other candles or charts that we've been really paying attention to, bonds, TLT. So if the markets were going to be, as we were looking at the IWM, the Dow, and the S&P, if price gets rejected here, it would make sense to me that TLT will start to pick up. And so far, it's been showing this breakout of the wedge. It's somewhat muted, but I'm keeping an eye on this one because if it starts to really go, if the market starts to sell off, then it looks as though it might want to make a higher high than this previous all-time high. So weekly chart, keeping an eye on this one. The other one we've been keeping an eye on is UUP, the dollar. Janet Yellen made those dovish remarks earlier this week, forcing the dollar down into this lower range. On a daily, it's getting into the bottom of the range for me. We were thinking that perhaps this candle last week would be a harami and a reversal, but her dovish words thrust downward pressure on the dollar. Let's pull it away from the 2-year weekly to the 9-month daily so you can really see this area where I think it'll be interesting to see if we start to get tick up and a move higher here. Keeping an eye on that. So with that, I will leave you should the markets continue to move higher. Sorry, just let me go back to the Russell because I wanted to show you that gap that needs to be filled. So sorry about that. Here's the gap that needs to be filled on the Russell. Now that the markets are open, we'll see if it gets filled. Keeping an eye on that. Should price strength continue in these markets, the charts that I wanted to show you are Disney, up and over that blue line, full of value and growth. Nordic American Tanker, as we were identifying on Tuesday, it's all about being up and over that 8-day. And then the other one that I wanted to add is NXPI, a prior chart of the day cafe pick. Sitting at this area of support, checked the numbers this morning, full of value, and far enough away from earnings, it looks as though it may want to start lifting here, and I like the volume. And check the numbers on this morning, still really great. So with that, I will leave you. Apologize for getting this out a little late this morning. Just wanted to cover those extra charts. Thanks, and have a good weekend. We'll put another video out on Tuesday.